If you overshare your trauma with the wrong person, they may use your traumatic information that you've shared with them against you, or worse, they may recreate a traumatic experience for you to share with them that's either similar to what you've shared or far worse. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I've worked with perpetrators of violence and abuse as well as victims of abuse, and I want to respond to this comment. I tell women this all the time. You're just giving him, meaning the man, the map and keys to hurt you. So many women report men hurting them in the exact same way, and they are dumbfounded. And I want to respond to this because this is accurate information. And so a lot of times when I work with my clients or when I've worked with them over the years, I definitely encourage them not to overshare too much of their traumatic information, even with someone such as a lover or a friend, unless it's been someone that you truly vetted and it's information that they actually need to know. Because, relationships change. Things can go south. You guys have heard me talk about how even with the person that you fell in love with, the mask can fall, and it has happened time and again with many, many women and many people in general, not just women, just people in general. But when you're dealing with predatory people, again, they will retain that information that you told them, and they will use it against you at just the right amount at the right time, or worse, they'll try to recreate that traumatic situation, or worse, just to sort of get their rocks off on, re-victimizing you. There are people out there, psychopathic people, that want to, create another situation where you can be a victim again, and they thrive off of that. They smile on the inside, whether or not they don't smile on the outside or not. And so a good example of this would be like, a rape victim is now with a husband, she hasn't discovered as a psychopath yet. He's been charming, he's been doing all the right things, but then, after they tied the knot, things changed. And, bit by bit, he began to devalue her in the relationship. And part of that devaluation process was, trigger warning, was to sexually assault her in various ways, and very similar to, ways that she had been sexually assaulted before. And so that's, people sort of push that on you under the guise of, let's explore, and people can gaslight you in doing things like that. But your trauma can certainly be used against you. So be very careful with whom you overshare. In fact, most people, when they overshare at all, it typically does fall into the hands of the wrong person. Even if it's family members, they wait until you're not doing so good and boom, they throw that right back at you. Or they use that to continue to tear you down. Friends, other people, during conflict, but also just to kind of have that sort of leverage of something to hold over your head, and, you just want to be very careful with sharing that kind of stuff. I always encourage sharing it with a licensed professional, mental health professional first, whom you trust and have a good rapport with, and seek advice or guidance from that. But sometimes you may find that stuff really just does not need to be shared. Hope that helps.